Hello and welcome to my community on Afrocentric Television channel 15.8. This is a show that revolves around the Africans in diaspora and by extension the United States. Here we are today. We're going to be talking about, different things that's been happening in Houston as regards, building your potential. So we are bringing someone that is, we call her Jack of all trades, but she's breaking out of the norm of the Jack of all trade thing. She's just she has her hands in so many different things. And secondly, we have our community organization that is called the Umu Igbo Unite. They're going to be talking about the what the Igbo people are doing in the community and how they are protecting their culture, and also being open for you to learn to come into their culture and to learn so many more things about them. And this year I think it's going to be in Minnesota, so we're going to be talking about that. And we have the sports segment, the entertainment segment. Fauzi is doing awesome, and so is Bayonle on the sports segment, and then we'll have a talk on the health and everything else African. As we say, we are a company or a network, I would say, that brings about the Africans and the beauty of Africans into our community. Well, stay tuned for more.
Welcome back to the entertainment segment of my community on Afrocentric TV channel 15.8. My name is Fauzi Aminu, your favorite host, and I'm here to do what I love to do, which is keep you updated with the tea, tell you what events are popping this week, and of course put you on to my top 3 songs for the week. First up this week, the United States now requires visa applicants to send in social media handles when applying for visas. This comes after the news that they are no longer accepting the Dropbox method. But moving on, Jay-Z is officially the first billionaire hip-hop has ever produced, but we can't give all the credit to hip-hop. Some of his wealth can be credited to his investments in real estate, liquor, and arts. Big up to Jay, man. But I can't talk about that without talking about my girl Rihanna. Rihanna, her $600 million fortune makes her the richest female musician on the planet. Cha-ching! And while we're on it, Serena Williams is the first female athlete to make Forbes' richest self-made women list. Big ups to her as well. All this money talk reminds me of another one of Abacha's loots that has recently been found again. This time, about 211 million euros were discovered in foreign accounts. Now, wow, me, I just want to know where they are sharing this money, because me, I can help with the spending. On to brighter news, Kid Akut is expecting, and he took to Twitter streets to announce by posting a post of his baby mother's baby bump. Congrats to Kida as he's expecting his jiggy baby. Jigga babe. Ramadan is officially over, so Ramadan Kareem to my Muslim brothers and sisters. But that means summer has officially begun, so I'm about to put you on to a couple events you need to be at. First up, I'm hosting a show this Friday. It's called Fresh Oranges. It's going to be a lot of fun, good music, good vibes, good people, and of course me. So I'd really, really love to see you there. Next up, there is a brand new lounge opening on Sunday. It's called Azura, and Zlatan will be in the building after his FCC arrest. I'm just joking, for their grand opening. So if you know what's good, don't dull yourself and pull up. My final event for you this week is called Afro Basil, and it is on June 8th, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. And for more info on any of these events, you can go on fauziaminu.com/events. And my top 3 songs for this week, and in no particular order, are Bashiri Me, by Nice, because it's like a prayer, and I really, really like that. Next up is Cash by Lady Donley, because of all this cash talk. And then I have Ride or Die by Falana. Thanks for joining me this week, and make sure you guys come back, same place, same time. It's Fauzi Aminu, and I'm out.
Welcome to the sports segment on my community. My name is Bayonle Arashi. Happy new month. The month of June is here, and it's very, very exciting for me in particular, as it's my month of birth, and I'm looking forward to a lot of adventures in this month of June and for the rest of 2019. Straight to the sport news I have for you today on the show. Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua in a historic fight at the Madison Square Garden on Saturday, June the 1st in New York. Ruiz upset Joshua with a 7th round knockout to earn the WBA, WBO, and IBF heavyweight titles. Ruiz becomes the first Mexican descent to win a major heavyweight titles in that particular fight. Joshua was knocked down twice in the 3rd round and twice more in the 7th before referee Mike Griffin had to stop the fight. The unbeaten Anthony Joshua came into that particular fight with 30-1 odds to win that particular game. Both fighters were 29 years old, with Anthony Joshua having just a little bit more reach than Ruiz, but not many people gave Ruiz any chance in that particular fight on that day. Anthony Joshua was supposed to fight with Baby Miller. They call him Jarrell Big Baby Miller, but of course he was replaced by Ruiz after Miller failed 3 drug tests in that particular one. The Brit has immediately triggered the rematch. There's going to be a rematch of that particular fight that will come up probably in November or December of this 2019. But really, what happened to Anthony Joshua in that particular fight, none of us can explain it. We know him as a very, very, very heavy fighter, straight puncher, heavy puncher. But of course, in the 3rd round, he was the first person that knocked down Andy Ruiz. But Ruiz came back. That particular knockout looked like rejuvenation of sorts for Andy Ruiz, and of course he knocked Joshua twice down in that same 3rd round, and Joshua never ever recovered until that particular match was stopped in the 7th round. What do you think happened to Anthony Joshua, and do you think if Ruiz indeed agreed to fight that fight again in England, because they are touting the game to be either in England, where Anthony Joshua is from originally, or they have the rematch right here in New York again, or maybe they take it somewhere else, but definitely they won't take it to Mexico, because Andy Ruiz is of Mexican descent, but of course he was born right here in America, California to be precise. Let's talk about that particular fight. A shock to the world, everybody must say, but of course we have to move on now. Moving on to the next story on the show today. The West African derby game between Senegal and Nigeria ended in favor of Senegal at the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Championship. Senegal beat Nigeria by 2-1 to really ended the misery for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. There's a particular striker in that particular Senegalese squad. His name is Amadou Sanya, and I see a very, very big future for that young striker. He scored the first goal for Senegal with a clean finish for the Senegalese before Nigeria scored a goal back at the beginning of the 2nd half, but of course they had to go out of that tournament. Shamefully, of course, I said it last week on the show, I personally am very, very disappointed at their performance, but it is what it is. NFF, well, they'll be going back to that drawing board again. I hope the drawing board never breaks down sometime soon, but we have to move on and do the right thing for the beautiful game in Nigeria. Of course, Mali also came from behind to claim their own quarterfinal spot against Argentina. The Argentines have won the championship 7 times in the past, but Mali came back to draw the game 2-2 in the extra time. And of course, the Malians, they scored all their 5 spot kicks to really knock out the Argies in that particular one. And of course, there will be all the quarterfinal games from tomorrow. When I say tomorrow, I mean Friday, because if you are watching the repeat episode of this show, it must have been broadcasted yesterday. Of course, United States also moved on in that particular one, and they will be playing Ecuador in their own quarterfinal fixture. Of course, the last fixture will be between Ukraine and Colombia. Do you think Senegal and Mali will go all the way in the championship? Of course, put your comment right below wherever you're watching this from, and let's keep the discussion going. My handle is at Maida Soccer, is showing on the screen right now, and of course I'm always very interested in the best sports news and event on the show. Finally, on the show today, on the sports segment, there seems to be no end to misery of Brazilian star Neymar. Neymar will miss, he will now miss the 2019 Copa America that they will be hosting. It was a very big shock for him. The Brazilian star suffered an injury against Qatar in their friendly game on Wednesday. Very sad one for that particular guy right there from Brazil. They won the game by 2-0, but he suffered an injury in the 20th minute of the game and have to be helped out in that particular game. The Brazilian president did visit him at the hospital, and of course he said he wished him the best. But also, just last week Friday, someone from Paris, a lady, her name is Nigeria-Trinidad, filed a rape allegation against Neymar. He said Neymar raped him at a Paris hotel, and of course he filed a suit against him. They actually had a settlement with the lawyer of the lady and Neymar's lawyer, but of course the lawyer said they did not agree with the term because there was nothing like rape in that particular. Neymar also came out by sharing some WhatsApp information between him and the lady to try to prove his innocence. I don't know the truth about it, but I really wish that guy comes out of this one successfully and really get back to doing what he knows how to do best, that is playing the beautiful game of football. That's about it for me on this week's segment of My Community Sport. It's been very good pleasure bringing it to you. Special thanks to my producer Ayodeji for always pushing me to get this thing done every week, and I see you guys again next week, God willing. My name is Bayonle Arashi. Bye bye now.
If your shipping company delays your shipment for 3 months or more via ocean, you need a new shipper. If your shipments have been dropped off and are yet to leave after 2 weeks, you need a new shipper. If your shipments were lost or damaged during transit and there is no compensation, then you definitely need a new shipper. Every day your items are delayed, your hard-earned money goes to waste, and your receivers are denied the benefits of using those items. And in most cases, there are no compensation. It is time for a new experience with ocean shipping, and Ship to Nigeria now offers you that experience. Ocean shipments are delivered within 6 to 8 weeks to Nigeria, or we will refund 25% of your shipping cost. We will refund in full your declared value and your shipping cost within 48 hours if anything happens to your shipment. You can get 247 alerts, online tracking, emails, and text messages. With 3 containers leaving every week, we no go give story. We will deliver when we say we will and to any location in Nigeria. Try us today and get 10% off your first shipment.
Ship to Nigeria, as good as taking it there yourself.
Welcome back to My Community on Afrocentric Television Channel 15.8. As you know, we bring about what happens in the African community in diaspora, by extension United States of course, but today we will be focusing at one of the cultures in Nigeria, a very rich culture in Nigeria. It's called the Igbo culture. And to talk about that, because they have a conference coming up, or perhaps a convention coming up, to talk about that is going to be one of the co-founders of Umu Igbo Unites, by the name Ijeoma Okoli. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself, first off, because co-founded Igbo, I understand solely that the Igbo community is huge and they are imbibed in their culture. I love that. So tell us about Ijeoma, how you got started and what prompted it.
Okay. My name is Ijeoma Okoli. I'm from Ezinifite, Agwata local government in Anambra State, but I'm married to My husband's from Amici, Navy South. So in the Igbo culture, technically now I am from Amici, Navy South. Yep. Both in Anambra State.
Right.
So we started Umu Igbo Unite back in 2005. There are two different families, the Dr. Anadu family and Dr. Obubara family. We all resided in Atlanta at that time, back in 2005, and we just noticed that there was a lack of, that we didn't really have a platform where, like college age, after you graduate from college, you don't really have that platform where you network with each other.
Right.
Because usually before college, you go with your parents to like their association events, all that stuff, and they kind of get you in there. But then after that, it's like, okay, what now? And then you also have your parents saying, you must marry an Igbo person, you know? So
we will come back to that. You must marry an Igbo person. I like that about the Igbos.
Some parents, it's a general, like not everybody feels that way.
But now I see the younger generations, you know, they're marrying outside the culture, which I'm loving. I mean, because it's too diverse, man. Even with amongst the Igbo community, you have different dialects, to my understanding.
Correct.
Right? How many do you have? Do you know?
I don't know, but we have
several.
Several, yeah, for sure.
Like different states, probably with different kind of dialects. So, how did y'all get started with this? What prompted you? How many partners do you have, or co-founders do you have? I know you are a co-founder.
Yeah, there are 8 of us total.
How many chapters in the United States?
We have 13 different chapters right now.
8 of you guys
growing.
founded this, and you have 13 chapters in the United States.
Correct.
And growing, if I heard you right. Wow.
By God's grace.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what got you guys started?
So, back to after college, you kind of feel like you're a bit lost. You struggle with being American, being African, really Nigerian, and then being Igbo. So, for us, I know our parents were very strong with, you go to school, you speak English in school. When you come back home, you speak Igbo. And then so after graduating,
I love that.
after graduating from college, you don't know where you fit in. So we decided to start Umu Igbo Unite to create that avenue where we can network with each other professionally, culturally, and socially.
So is this limited to this Umu Igbo Unite? Is it limited to Igbo from Igbo descendants, or anybody that's interested in learning about the culture, or that is married into the culture and things like that?
Precisely. So we say it's open to everyone as long as you are willing to learn about the Igbo culture. That's what our focus is. So
if I'm married to an Igbo girl, by virtue of my marriage, I can join the music association.
The organization.
Organization.
Yes.
Okay. So awesome. So I learned you guys have a convention coming up.
Yes, we have a convention coming up in August 1st in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's going to be from August 1st through the 4th, 2019, and you can find out more information at www.umuigbounite.com.
Can you spell that out? Umu Igbo, because the way you said it, like, it could sound differently to some people.
Umu Igbo Unite, UMUIGBO Unite.com.
UMUIGBO Unite.com.
We're also on Instagram and Facebook. All your social networks, we're there.
Umu Igbo Unite.
Yep.
Okay, so now, how long has this been going on? You said, I remember you said something about 95.
2005.
Rather, 2095, imagine that. 2005. So that's a long time coming. Is that how long it's been that you started this, or you guys started
15 years. It's 15 years this year.
That you guys founded the Umu Igbo Unite.
Yep.
Has there been any convention in Houston?
Yes. We were here, I believe it was 2009 and 2010.
Where was this headquartered?
We started off in Atlanta. And so
was that where y'all at the time?
We were there. Now everybody's kind of spread out, but we have four founders here, and
in Houston.
We have another board member that's here as well. Yep.
And then the rest of them are still back in Atlanta.
Nope, they're all over. We have people in New York, Florida, California.
Lovely.
Yeah. So
man, we need to get Igbos together, and so do we need to get other tribes and cultures from Nigeria together, and then we need to get Nigerians together, and Ghanaians together, and Cameroonians together, Ethiopians, all of the. I think we have a strong voice in the United States that we're not utilizing.
We're not utilizing. Absolutely.
You agree with me?
We can make such a big difference if we can come together.
If we can come together. But why is it? Is it a Yoruba thing, an Igbo thing, an Hausa thing, or
I think it's a human
an African thing? It is just an.
I think it's a human thing.
Oh, okay.
We have this, in my opinion. Everybody wants to be chief, so it's hard to be led. It's hard to be a follower, even though we aren't. Instagram following people. I think it's difficult for us to say, okay, I'm going to tell me where to go, and I think that's kind of
like
also how
follow someone's lead.
that's kind of how we're raised too. Is like, don't be a follower, be a leader.
Yeah. So everybody wants to.
Yeah, but I feel
but for you guys to have started 15 good years, I think you're doing an awesome job.
I think it's because we've kept it the family quite close, and we have board members, but they've been they're pretty close as well. So we have to control the narrative. We have to control the direction of the organization. Otherwise,
somebody would just hijack it and just turn it their own and do something with it.
Yeah. So I think we have to. We all kind of know. We're all leaders, but we also know I believe a good leader knows when to follow. So
when we talk about leader, I know one thing that's conflicting in the African culture, not just Nigerian or American, but African culture generally, is we believe that whatever the elders say stands. I like that reaction. But that's how we're brought up, right?
Yes.
So, and I think personally, I respect that.
Yep.
But I don't let anybody take the voice from my children.
Yep.
Let them speak. Give them that voice. Let them express themselves. So saying, who at what age can one become a part of Umu Igbo Unite?
Yeah, so we start at 21. Usually right after college, just because we feel like that's a time you kind of lose touch with your parents' organization.
So you can stand on your own and
transition to Umu Igbo Unite.
So it's just strictly for the young adults?
Yeah. Yep.
So any cap on the age limit?
21 and to 45.
To 45. So, but I did see some older generations when I was
on the website.
Yeah, on the website. So are those like mentors or?
Sometimes we kind of use our parents as like advisors.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
In the Igbo culture, I don't know if you know about the kola nut that we have to do. So for every ceremony, somebody has to
break the nuts,
bless the kola nut and pass it on. So like my generation don't quite know how to do that yet. So we would need an older generation to do that for us, and I'm sure they're learning because we also have sessions like that teach the guys how to do that because that's a guy thing. Women cannot.
Marriage in Igbo culture is elaborate.
What compared to Yoruba?
Let's not dive deep into that.
Okay, focus on Igbo.
But you know, when I say that, you know, we have different kind of attires, different kind of culture.
Yeah.
Some things are just thin line, you know. But you guys have this unique attires, and you know, and you use the guard for the palm wine. You go deep in the culture. In the United States, do you guys have like someone to look up to as regards teaching you all how all these traditions come into play and what they mean?
I wouldn't say we have someone. I would say we have people. So like the older generation, usually some of the UIU members have like their parents that want to help us do something. So we've had sessions on the kola nut. We've had sessions on what the different attires mean. We've had sessions on how to tie the gele.
Do you call it gele too?
We call it ichafo.
Ichafo, okay. Because I know Yorubas call it gele. Yeah.
We had sessions on the rapa tying because that's something that we don't grow up doing.
Because everybody just want to look fly in their suit or in their sharp native attire and whatnot.
So we've had that. We even have sessions on food, so different soups that we cook.
We're coming to that. Like that. So how many? Don't let me go into how many dishes you have, because I know you have varieties. However, do people cater for the event?
Yeah.
From voluntarily, or you have to pay for it?
Oh, we have to pay for everything.
Everything, okay.
So
no, because when people need to join, they need to understand what it entails to join in Umu Igbo Unite and to be a part of it. So they don't just think they don't have no expectation. And they just, you know.
So depending on if you are part of a chapter, you would pay a fee, and the fee covers an annual fee covers your chapter membership as well as your national membership. And you have different benefits for being a national member. And if you don't have a chapter, you can always become a national member, and you just sign up by going on the website to do that.
So there's going to be food for sure.
At the convention? Yeah, for sure.
That will be in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah. So
I may just be there. I follow food.
Okay, you're talking about two different things. There's chapter membership, and then there's the convention registration.
Right.
So that is definitely from the website. You can sign up for that, but that includes food, yes. And we try to partner with hotels that will work with us, allow us to bring in outside catering, which means that people can experience our food.
Food, yeah, makes sense.
Sometimes we have luck with that, sometimes we don't. But in Minneapolis, we have luck with that. We can bring in our own food.
Awesome.
We actually have planning to fly in one of our caterers. She's actually one of the Cincinnati members. She caters in Cincinnati, and she'll be doing the banquet meal at the banquet this year.
Nice.
Yep.
So now that we know where the venue is going to be.
Kitchen. Sorry, have
That's
to give
the
her
name.
a shout out. Yeah.
Lucy's Kitchen.
Lucci.
Lucci, L-U-C-H-I?
Lucci.
Oh, nice. So I like
L-U-C-H-Y.
It's a Y now at the end. See, all Lucci's
Kitchen.
I at the end. So, yeah. But anyway, you heard it all from our beautiful guest today, one of the co-founders of Umu Igbo Unites. Please join the organization. They have a lot of benefit from what you've heard, regarding, learning about your culture, the food, what things mean, how you go about things. They will talk about marriage. Even if you're single, you may be able to catch your bride over there or the groom.
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Last year alone, we had over 5 weddings from Umu Igbo Unite. Like 5 couples met each other.
Guys, did you hear why you need to join?
Like, my cousins alone, 4 of them met their spouses at UIU. I am not joking. It's
I've been married, and I'm in a
fantastic.
happy marriage, so
You're content,
yeah.
but you have brothers, cousins,
friends. Yes. Please, see the reason why you need to join and be a part of this, and that's what it's about. Bringing Africans together, uniting ourselves. And spreading the culture and teaching people about our culture. It's rich from Africa.
And trying to preserve it.
And preserve it. Yeah. Yes. Until next time, please stay tuned. Nice.
Welcome to CFAX Global Logistics, where your ultimate satisfaction is our goal. We make your shipping needs a worthwhile experience. As a licensed freight forwarder, CFAX Global Logistics offers air and sea freight, procurement and supply chain, project logistics, warehousing and storage services. Call us at 281-820-9000 or 832-593-3067. We offer prompt, effective, qualitative services, and damage-proof delivery is our guarantee. What's more, we offer the lowest competitive rate for your shipment. You can call us at 281-820-9000 or 832-593-3067. So, to ship your next products and goods across continents on the next available flight or ship at a price that can't be beat, come to our office located at 8180 Southwest Freeway, Houston, Texas 77074 for your shipment and logistics services. CFAX Global Logistics, the trustworthy and reliable partner for your logistic need.
The Royal Event Center, located at 6603 Langham Drive, Houston, Texas, is an event center that houses approximately 300 guests. It is designed to host any style of event, from weddings to birthdays, anniversary meetings, or even small intimate affairs. The Royal Event Center has you covered. Combining unique interior designs that are state-of-the-art, it includes the main event hall with well-designed entrance and complimentary parking space. It also features a separated lobby. We have 5 restrooms for men and 5 restrooms for women. The hall is located in a gated and peaceful environment, allowing for maximum security of people and property.
For inquiries, call 281-550-0400, 281-716-2099.
Welcome back to My Community on Afrocentric Television, channel 15.8. As y'all know, this is a show that brings about the positive things we're doing in Africa and as Africans in diaspora, and by extension, United States. As you know, my name is Kola, and I'm joined here today by one of our very, very own super talented friend of mine. Her name is Jokotade Vivian Adeniyi, but she goes by the name Jokotade.
Jokotade.
Tell us why you chose Jokotade and the story behind the name.
So, it's interesting. The order of my names is actually Vivian Jokotade Adeniyi.
Imagine. Because Jokotade has taken over everything as the brand
my
also.
Mom, it's not a Shakara name. It's not an American name. Some people adopt names when they're Americanized. Exactly. So my mom gave me Vivian, and my two grandmothers gave me Jokotade. They did not plan it. They did not plan it.
Wow.
Yes, they didn't plan it. One gave me Jokotade, my paternal, and my maternal gave me Bade Joko when they submitted the names. So when they were reading out the names, it was clear that this girl is destined to be called Joko.
Wow.
And there's a story behind it.
Please, I want to hear it.
All right, so in the 70s, in the mid-70s, my parents had a little girl, and they were heading to Ogbomoso for a family event for my mom. My mom and her family, they were moving in a convoy, and at some point they stopped to rest, rest break,
yes.
and at that time their daughter said, hey, mommy, I want to go be in the second car in the back with she just had a brand new baby cousin, which is my mom's sister's baby. And so, she said, why not, So she goes to the back, she joins the driver, my mom's sister, my mom's other sister's new baby with the nanny.
Right.
There were about 6 of them in the car.
Very cool.
So, they pick up from the rest and they keep going. And after about 15 minutes or so, they're like, hey, we don't see the other car. So they turn around and they drive back to what I believe would have been my mom's worst nightmare, or any mother's worst nightmare. An 18-wheeler had run over the second car, crushing that vehicle and killing all of the passengers, including who would have been my sister. And you have to remember, in those days, the response time, emergency response
time, even till now,
in the 70s was pretty non-existent. And so my mom reached out and touched what she believed was the leg of my sister, and that was it. They lost, several different members of the family. My mom was in her 30s then, and it was devastating. And so they tried again. When they tried again, I was the child that came along. And in the Yoruba culture, when you hear Jokotade or Bade Joko or anything, or Jokotola or anything like that, there's a story behind.
This one has come to stay.
Yes, and it means this one has come to stay. This one, it's a prophetic name. This one will stay. My dad's name is Ade, so this one will stay with her dad. This one will stay with the family.
Jokotade.
Yes, Jokotade. This one will stay. So
and Ade is royalty.
Ade is royalty. That is correct. That is correct. So, I grew up with the name. I would go to school. They would drop me off as Vivian. I would come back home and they would call me Jokotade. So I've always been that dual name kind of person. But that's the name. That's the history.
Now that we know the story behind the name,
yes,
there's no doubt why you made it a brand.
Let me be honest. I didn't think to make it a brand. I was praying. I knew that there was more work that God wanted me to do with my life, with my gifts and all of that. And I was praying. I was like, okay, God, what do I call this new platform? I already used my name Vivian for another business work, and I wanted to keep it distinctive. And I remember that day I was walking into a midweek service at church, and I heard, call it Jokotade. And I was like, holy Jokotade, that, what do I even have to say? At the time, the story had not come together so nicely as I just told you now. I didn't think to bring the story so nicely together. But then I took a leap of faith. I started just calling. I was like, okay, Jokotade. And it just resonated with people. And every time I share the story, it gives people hope that something good can come out of something that appears terrible. You know, so everywhere I go, the Jokotade name and the brand.
Even the way the Caucasians pronounce it,
yes,
it's like they've known about Jokotade forever.
Absolutely.
And then my friend Jokotade, and I'm like, Joko is an indigenous Nigerian name, Yoruba precisely.
Yes.
You know, but the way they say it with such calmness.
Yes.
And that's something that resonates with your brand.
Yes, yes.
Love.
Yes.
Calmness. Peace.
Yes.
All of those things. The pinks are usually light.
Yes, yes.
So, you are a woman of many talents.
Yep.
And one of the things that is against the norm that I think you went overboard with is when they say jack of all trades.
That's right.
Master of none.
That does not exist with me. Yep.
Okay, I think I found my friend in you again. Because I do so many things.
Yep. And there are many of us like that in the world.
But people always say, he's just doing so many things, no direction, no this. Yeah. I tell them, I do one thing. It just cuts across different industries.
That is correct. That is correct.
So how does yours play out?
Okay, so if I were to list all of my many different...
you have to list some, so they know. People have to understand that this woman we have right here is not just someone that because... It's not by luck.
That is correct.
You know,
that is correct.
That you are born to do this. Did you started drawing when you were like, what, 6?
Yes, I started drawing when I was 6, but I set it aside because in those days, you know, our parents didn't see creative work as a valuable work. You know now, you have to go for the big 4.
I'm sure if you talk to all my siblings, we all can draw.
Exactly.
Only one of us took it to the next level.
Right. Fought through.
Oh, thank you. Fought through with it because it was very, very discouraging. Although my dad did kind of encourage us.
Yeah.
He buys us all these crayons, all these drawing board, drawing books, all of those things, pencils and whatnot. Yeah. But you went against the norm.
Right. Right.
You know, tell us a little bit more about this.
So I didn't get there, and let me give our viewers a bit of background.
Please.
When I moved to the United States in 1997, my family was starting all over. We had lost everything in Nigeria.
When you say my family, you mean your mom, dad?
My mom and my dad, because I was wrapping up my teenage years at the time. And when we got here, I started out in the U.S. as a hair braider. My aunt has a shop, she still does, had a shop then, and I joined her either cleaning, organizing, braiding hair, doing everything. And that's what I had to do at the time. And I couldn't get into college immediately because of residency. I had to kind of wait it out for a year so I could be a formal Texas resident.
Or else you'll be paying,
out of state tuition. And so I did that. I waited it out, worked in the beauty salon, and then once opportunity came for me to go to U of H, I continued hair braiding on the side on my own. I worked in the campus library. I did all manners. I sold accessories. I would buy things from Chinatown and go sell it one campus or the other. All of this, just using all of my internal proclivities to earn something. And I remember when I finished up in college, I was on track to start this corporate America job. I'd studied information technology. I was guaranteed a job.
Systems,
but then
right?
At that year that I was wrapping up was the year Enron went down. And
I remember.
I was one of that pack that got laid off.
Oh, wow.
There went my dream of corporate America. And so right there I started asking myself, I said, what can I do? What can I do? I had gotten this advertising, they called it advertising executive, but what it was, we're selling yellow pages on the onset of the internet. You know, and I could see that this company is not looking into the future. Who's still selling yellow pages when there is Google, when there is
just Yahoo, like BlackBerry did not follow with the trend and all that.
So I sat and I started doing some research and I said, okay, I have a car, I have time. What can I do to leverage my time and my immediate resource, which was my car? And I got this idea. I did some research that I could do this thing called concierge service, which is a glorified term for anyone for help. You know, glorified. It's a glorious
basically, because I did it too. I was a concierge.
Thank you very much. So I did that. I started doing that, and as I did that a lot, I found out that businesses would call me to help them with their events. They liked somebody else that could stay on top of so many different things at the same time. And from there, my event business was born. So here's the thing that people don't know about multi-talented people, those of us that are jack of many trades. What they don't realize is that we are very sensitive to the needs of the market, and we tend to go where the problems are, so that
because
we can
are solution providers.
We're solution providers.
Yes.
And what they don't realize too is we don't go into it all at the same time. At least for those of us that have learned how to navigate it, okay? We go into it one at a time. This is in this season, what am I supposed to do? And that has helped me.
I like that. In this
season, what am I supposed to do? So in that season, I was a concierge. And then after doing that for a while, I saw there was more need in event planning. I got into that. And as I did that for a good while, I saw that there was more need into design. Okay.
Because I know you did that successfully
So
well. Because one of the ladies that you mentored, she said it proudly.
Yep.
On Chioma.
Chioma Johnson
and she said, Sister me.
That is correct.
I guess that's where you got Brami, the way you call me now, that you call me Brami. that thing's just funny whenever I hear you, Brami. I'm like, okay. But, but coming back, she said it so proudly.
Yep.
That, because I asked her if she trains people, if she mentors people, she said yes.
Yes.
And if it had not been for your kind of person, that she wouldn't have understood. But you let her in, and you opened the door for her, and she ran with it. For her to say it on TV,
that is correct.
Means a whole lot.
Everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's even an embarrassment now. She'll shout it from the rooftop, and she'll point me out. If I'm in a conference, she'll say, "That's the lady right here that took me on," and that's the way it should be. That's the way, don't you?
I love that. Yeah. I love that. And given that, we are divided somewhat. She's Igbo.
Yeah, that is correct.
You're Yoruba.
That is correct. That is correct.
You did not set that as a barrier.
No.
You did not see that.
At all.
You just saw someone.
Yes, and potential.
In that person.
That is correct.
And you took her on.
That is correct. That is correct.
So now, let's talk about what you do for women.
Real quick, let me just piggyback up on what you said.
Please go ahead.
The idea is that the more you identify potential in people and you see how you can help people, the more you grow and evolve. So at the time, right?
Jim Rohn?
Jim Rohn, that is correct.
He said, I mean, those are people I listen to and I read about. And, he said, by the time you sell your ideas or you teach or you talk about your ideas to 10 different people, you would have gained 10 different knowledge. They only gain one from you, but you have gained from 10 different people just because you talked about it.
That is very right.
In Africa, we love to just keep it to ourselves. They don't see it as a form of growth. They always look at the other person as competition. But you saw beyond that.
I saw beyond that. And God willing, I hope to keep being that person. And that's how I got into speaking and empowering women, entrepreneurs, and leaders, because I feel as though the reason why we admire other countries is because they find a way to share the information and the knowledge. Case in point, the United States of America.
Look at the name alone.
The United States of America.
Each state is its own country, basically.
That is correct.
They run their own everything.
Judiciary,
everything.
Yes, that is correct.
And then they still come back together as a United States.
That is correct. That is correct.
And that is why they are the most powerful nation in the world today. If only we can do that as individuals, collectively, as Africans, as humans, if we can do that. Tell us more about what you do, because one of the things you did recently was the
Jokotade Grant Program.
I found that very fascinating. and very empowering and encouraging, because I learned from it too, despite being a businessman, right?
Yes.
A lot of time people think getting into business is just about being called the CEO. They don't know you wear that hat. That's where, if anything happens, you're going down.
That's right. You do the most work.
They don't see that. They just see, they see you the times you're on the golf course. They see you the time when you're just on vacation.
Yes, or driving your nice car.
I know, right? For like 30 minutes. Thank you. Because the rest of the time you're back
working.
They don't see that. And they see you wear this very lovely designers, whatever, and they want to be like that. They don't know what it takes to be that. Tell us, with this program, you did not limit it to just Nigeria.
Yes.
Although the first two winners,
my first two recipients are from Nigeria.
Yeah, but you
charity begins
at home. That's what it's about. And you told you said it on there that you are taking it
to other countries.
Yes. Especially the developing countries.
Yes, developing countries across the world. Yes.
Okay, I have two things.
Yes.
Why did you feel the need to empower people in general? Because you did that. You didn't limit it to just women. It was just, as long as you're a potential entrepreneur, there's a likelihood for you to gain out of this.
Yes.
Then secondly, to empower women.
Yes.
What was the vision behind this?
Okay, so this is what I believe, because I have so many creative belts in my history.
Don't forget, we're still going to talk about those creativities, because we're still going to talk about how you
went back to drawing,
and you sing.
I sing.
I know
speak,
that you speak. You write. So we're coming back to this, but let's talk about this women empowerment and empowering entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Okay. So I first of all, I believe that entrepreneurs have an advantage in the world to change lives. When we look at Jeff Bezos and just, you know, the founder of Facebook and all these guys that have changed the world, they were entrepreneurs. They didn't have all the resources and all that, but they felt like there's value I can bring. And I believe that there's value, there's got to be someone I can help beyond just me. That life is beyond just me, myself, and I.
That's why I say we are blessed to be a blessing.
That is correct. And I'm hoping that I can be one of the people that lays that example, particularly to our community first, that there are people who are not just looking to make it, but are also looking behind them to say, hey, who else can I help?
Paying it forward.
And paying it forward. And so for me, with the Jokotade grant program, I was hoping that I could establish a community or pioneer an effort where a creative gets some help. So I help somebody, all right, or I help a couple of people, and they in turn go back and help their community.
It becomes a tree.
You
plant the seed.
Branches out. That is correct.
And branches out.
That is correct.
So sprouts.
So you don't know somebody, okay? You don't know me from anywhere, and you get picked. I really believe that it should do something for you. That wow, somebody that doesn't know me from anywhere is taking her hard-earned money and investing it in me. That should inspire you to say, you know what, I've got to do this for somebody else. Okay, so I may not be able to touch every single person in the world, but if I create a chain where I touch you and you go touch, look at you now, you said that inspired you. I am positive amongst all the other charity work that you do, that you're probably going to go back and say, what can I restructure and how can I expand my efforts to reach more people beyond just TV? I'm sure you're already thinking that right now. So that's the idea. The idea here is, let's start up something that is beyond us, that will reach the villages that you and I may never be able to enter because of schedule or commitments and all of that. And let's watch and see what we're going to do. And so as I move around different countries, I may not be that I will give an individual. I may partner, or that's what I'm doing. I'm actually partnering with foundations that provide vocational skill training.
Vocational skill training. I need to sign up for that too.
Yes, vocational skill training, so that even if I'm not there, I'm giving your institution the money to say, we want to sponsor 5 students to learn how to do carpentry or how to cook. You see, because we're helping them. I'm not just giving you money, you're going to swallow the money, you're going to need money again tomorrow. I'm teaching you how to fish. Okay, I'm teaching
you. Then just giving them the fish to eat.
Because that's how I got the money to help you. It's from my creative vocational skill work that I'm able to do that. And so I believe if I can get one creative to change, to change, then I can impact the world. So I want to lead that by example. It's like a movement, a quiet movement.
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
Let's change the world with our skills. They think it's only doctors that can change the world.
No.
I believe you and I, we creatives,
and I think we even do more. I think we do more.
We do. We do.
Know?
Absolutely.
So, you inspire women.
Okay.
You have a podcast.
I have a podcast.
You have a talk show.
I have a talk show.
You are a motivational speaker.
So
you can call yourself. I know. I knew you were going to come up with that. That's why I said, yeah, I know you don't. Let's say you're a speaker.
I'm a speaker and a teacher too. I'm actually a teacher. I have a very strong teaching gift.
So you said everything has a purpose.
Everything has a purpose.
What is the purpose?
Every gift should be unwrapped.
Yes, I saw that. And I was like, what is the purpose of Jokotade?
What is the purpose of Jokotade? Do you need one word?
However you can express it.
What is the purpose of Jokotade? The purpose of Jokotade is to help people identify a clear path to harnessing every potential, every gift, every opportunity that creates lasting impact. You know, I think that's the best way I can summarize it. That life is not just about you. Life is not just about Jokotade. Life is about you and the person next to you and the person next to that person.
But this has to be a wave.
Yes, it has to be a wave. And a wave that ultimately points back to the one who created us, you know, which is God Almighty. You know, I really believe that God has sent me to be that pioneer and that leader to help people see more clearly and get to understand things more clearly and value life. And not for acquiring or amassing.
Because that's vanity anyway.
Yeah, because, you know, it's interesting. We're not going to take anything away. Nothing. You know, none of this is coming with us except for the impact we created with the life that we were given.
You know, there's this thing they say, your attitude, right?
Yes.
Will determine your altitude.
Yes, how high you go.
In life.
That is correct.
You have won several awards. Yes. You have been nominated for several also.
Yes.
One of the ones that I love is the Young African is it entrepreneur.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing what you do for the African community back home and here in diaspora.
Yes.
Thank you for everything. Let me just say everything, for not just being selfish with your gift. Thank you for, you know, sharing with the world, because I know your podcast and your talks and all those things has been in over 100 countries.
Over 100 countries.
So I mean, that's huge. People may not know that. They just see the regular Jokotade that is behind, that will be serving you puff puff at the party, that will be cleaning the church, that will be singing in the choir. But they will not know they are actually sitting with the opera of Africa.
That's what people say.
You don't know, but you may not see it, right? Because it's out of humility, and you probably don't see that. It is what it is. People need to know, and you know, and that's what we at Afrocentric is about. We're about, right?
Yes.
We trying to change the narratives of
let's
Africans
change the narrative
in diaspora, and I'm glad you were able to join us on the show today. I appreciate the time, and you know, so how can people reach you if they need to, you know, seek your indulgence to speak at an event, or you know, they need counsel? What are your services like? And I know you have different brand under your Jokotade brand. You have different stuff, like you do cards, and you just do this light line cards, and once you read it, you can identify with this is what this is saying. There's a rose petal, there's women, and there's one for you sitting and with positive vibes only, you know, inspirational messages and all that. All of those things, they come to. How can people reach Jokotade?
So you can find me at jokotade.com, and I showcase all of my work there. And then you can follow me on social media at Jokotade Official. I'm a very handsome person, and so I try to connect with people as much as possible. And then whenever I'm on the road speaking, I make announcements on social media. So yes, that's it, jokotade.com.
Awesome. Well, you heard it. I'm glad she's here to join us, or she was, or is, and still will be here to join us, because we'll be bringing her more to the show, and hopefully work with her on some of these things so we can showcase it to Africans in diaspora, and of course in Nigeria and other parts of Africa as well, and even globally as God wants it, you know. So thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, please stay tuned. Welcome back, and now I hope you've been enjoying this show so far. You know, I mean, I learned so much about the Igbo culture, about what the Igbo Unite, Umu Igbo Unite are doing in the diaspora, and you know how they're trying to gather every possible Igbo people, as long as you're willing to become a part of them. You know how they're willing to gather everybody together to teach you about their culture, about everything, even as a Yoruba man or as an Hausa man, if you marry into their culture, or even if you have interest, you know, about learning about their culture, you can be a part of this. And it's going to be in Minneapolis this year. They have 13 chapters all over the United States, founded by 8 cousins. That is so lovely. And secondly, we hope you enjoyed the section with our very own Jokotade. That is a name brand that I will never forget. She's a sister, she's a friend, very humble, down to earth, and you know, we just love everything about her, because she has broken the barrier of talking about it's someone like me, basically, jack of all trade, they say, you know, master of none. But no, you can be a master of all. You just have to find your calling and find the thin line there is between different things you're trying to do. And you know, I just want to give her a shout out, because she presented me a gift. She said after her husband, I got the next one, and I love it. I'm gonna keep it. It's one of our brands. As you can see, once you see the rose petal on any brand, that tells you it's Jokotade, and she's the founder of Jokotade.com. And we just want to say thank you to all the audience. Thank you to everybody that has participated and supported us so far. We just want to express our gratitude to you all. And please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Afrocentric Television. Afrocentric is with a K at the end. Please also follow us on YouTube and join and like our page on Facebook at Afrocentric TV. You know, until next time, we hope to see you again and keep being a part of us. And if you have any information, be it advertisement, events that you're planning or whatnot that you want us to be a part of as an African, or you have something that you want to sell, or you want to appeal to the African community, please don't forget to let us know. Join us next time on my show, your show, our show, My Community, on Afrocentric Television Channel 15.8. Until next time, take care.